You guys might remember this little place. I was here a few days ago doing a recce mission. But look at it, the weather has come fantastic. You see the glacier in all its perfection here. And check out the mountains. So I've come back here because I'm going to do the Rush Lake trek. This is the fastest moving glacier in the world. It moves somewhere around the 150 mil every day, which is pretty rapid for something so massive. If the Hampton Pass trek's anything to go by, and the amount of views and likes I get from that, you guys like watching me nearly killing myself. So let's keep that going. I'm talking to you from the rooftop of my little hotel in Hopper Village. So the Hopper Village kind of spills down the hill a little bit, but most of the hotels and little cafe things, eateries, are right up by the Hopper Glacier. I thought I'd show you the view. Now obviously cameras cannot catch what I'm looking at, but this is just, you know, this is phenomenal. These mountains up here, right up in there, I mean they look tiny like to you guys I'm sure, but right now as I'm standing here, they're just massive mountains. And this is the little there's the little garden area of my hotel. So I'm going to go down here and grab some tea in the beautiful late afternoon shade. It's about 5:30 right now. Perfect weather. I think this is my favorite temperature. It's about 19 degrees. There's this light cool breeze coming off of the snow off the mountains, but the sun's really warm. It's just, oh, it makes you feel alive. Good morning, cobbers. All right, we're off onto the Rush Lake / Rush Summit trek. 3 or 4 days, depending on how we go, how we're feeling, how the weather holds up. But check this out for an early morning start. We could not be asking for better weather for a trek up into the Karakoram ranges. I'm so glad we're not starting this trek about 3 or 4 days ago when it was raining and Rush Lake was snowing. There was snow up there, and yeah. So but first, before we get up into the mountains, we're going to go down into the valleys and then across these glaciers. So I think I'm excited. This is the first time I've ever crossed a glacier, let alone 2 glaciers on the first morning of a trek. So this is exciting stuff. Okay, we are just coming over the first kind of lip of the glacier. There's all block ice with all the rock, and it's sort of all turning to like slushy mud and gravel. There's all the stuff that the glacier has sort of crushed up and brought down with it. It's surprisingly difficult to get over that. We're not even really into the glacier proper, I guess. So far, so much of coming across isn't about weaving your way through. It's kind of up and down, and it's all these ice ridges. It's quite slippery. It's getting slippery as we go. As we get closer to the middle, there'll be less and less of the rock and gravel and crushed up stuff going on, and surprisingly difficult. We're only at maybe 2,700, but it's a bit of tough going with a full bag. And I'm so glad I've got a guide, because this isn't about following a trail and trying to follow a track back. This is about yeah, my guide Habis here. He lives here, he grew up here, he knows these glaciers, and you can only do it with the skill and knowledge that people like him have of these constantly moving structures. Kind of down in a little crevasse here, coming up through from here, man, it's just slipping over all over the place. This is like a human ibex. He's springing all over things. You've got to really be light on your feet, using your legs as springs and using your momentum. The moment you try to sort of slow down, you just slip on this ice. Look at this tunnel, so look at this all, these little canyons and things. Habas said the last time he came here, he came over this way, but it's all just changes so quickly here. It's really takes it out of you. You have to do there's a lot of little ice shelves. If you haven't been doing your Bulgarian split squats and you're stuffed, you have to do a lot of one leg push-ups and push-offs with oh shit, we just got to walk along these icy edges. I'm gonna go house up here. Yeah. We got a long way to go across this. And a lot of with global warming, the glaciers are melting. So what was a good path that you could take becomes then a pool of water. That pool of water starts running. That carves a crevasse. And before you know it, that crevasse has opened up into a stream, and it just keeps on happening a million times all up here. And once it starts happening, it just sort of speeds up, I guess. There's more surface area once the crevasse is there for the sun to hit and then do its thing. Melt it a bit quicker, but God.
This year going to much high.
Wow, that's really, yeah, okay. Look at this, look at these ice spires coming up. Wow, look at the mountains. Holy!
Finger.
The track's getting a lot more difficult now. Look at this, and we're really into some pretty gnarly territory here. I've never seen a landscape like it. Oh shit, how do I... Let's go. And he just how'd you get down there? Okay. And go, go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Okay. Crikey. It seems if you try to stop your momentum, you're just going to end up sliding out. Okay, I've made it over Glacier 1. What was the name of this glacier again?
Hopper Glacier.
This one's Hopper Glacier.
In guidebook mention of the Bolter Glacier.
Bolter Glacier.
Area is Bolter, you know. This one.
Yeah, okay. So it sort of has two names. Hopper Village is up here, up on that ridge. So that's one glacier down. We're going to go up this hill and then down and then across another glacier. But yeah, This is breaking up a lot on this side of it, not so much on the other side. That's good now. Got my breath. And Abbas just gave me the best compliment anyone could give me. He said that I'm more of a mountaineer than a trekker. So,
Yes.
so that's fantastic. So I'm happy to take that compliment. Yeah, so it was good fun coming through that. I've never done a glacier before. So, tick, I've done that one. Alrighty, on to the next. We've come up the other side, which was a lot tougher going than I thought. There was no sort of zigzagging. It kind of just went straight up, so it really took it out of me. But we've now got way over there, way over yonder, is the other glacier, but this is kind of it here as well. So this is all the delicious rocky moraine. So we've got to get across this whole field. Is it a field of moraine? A paddock? What is it? Yeah, you wouldn't know it by the terrain that we're walking on, but we're actually walking on ice. We're on a glacier that's covered in rocks and grit and everything. It's just kind of this odd, I don't know, muddy, rocky terrain, rocky road. Yum, yum, yum. But you can kind of feel the cold coming through it. And underneath us, I guess, it's probably 100, 200 meters thick of pure ice, rock solid. So just here, I'm standing on the top lip of the end of a glacier. That's the bottom of it down there, and you can kind of see it. This whole ridge line is ice. You can see it all melting away and tumbling back, and all of this is ice that I'm standing on, and it looks like you're in a desert, but nope. So it's pretty cool. As you guys saw when I was at the base of, I think it was Passel Glacier down the bottom, yeah, how unstable these things are. So I'm getting off the edge of this one. Okay, we sort of made it up this pretty hard going little track that comes up the hillside that follows the bank of the glacier. This is the Glacier Edge here. This is kind of the steep bank. It's pretty rocky and slippery. There's a bit of a well-defined path across it. So it wasn't quite what I expected as far as there being two glaciers to cross, because this glacier, which we sort of got onto from this edge here, we came across, is that although you are walking across the glacier is probably about a foot underneath dirt and mud and rock and stuff like that. So it's not slippery, and it just more feels like you're on I don't know, walking across a quarry or the moon or something. But I'm looking at the hill we have to climb tomorrow morning up here. Man, that's nuts. So anyway, we're going to carry along this ridge now, and we'll camp at the base of this hill here somewhere. Kind of, you can see the white of the glacier up there. We're kind of walking along the edge of the glacier, just on the other side of that ridge line here. Well, where is it? Yeah, here it is. There's the ridge line. That's kind of the push, like as the glacier moves down, it's created these mountains that as it's done its thing over tens of thousands of years, I guess. But it's beautiful because I'm here at a nice time of the year with all these beautiful colours coming out in these what just kind of look like a sharp spiky bracken bush, but some of them are white and some of them are bright pink like this. So it's beautiful. Here is my little hotel for the night. So I'm all set up, kind of under the shade. Well, the sun's going to be setting over that way, so we'll be in the shade soon, which is nice now. But I got a feeling it's going to get cold later tonight. It's pretty warm right now. And Abbas, my guide, he's headed off to go and find a shepherd mate of his. So he said he'd come back before dark. And you might be wondering why I do have clothes on. I have pants. Sun's out, guns out, and it's bloody hot. So I've decided, well, there's not really enough of a stream to bathe in, which I was hoping to lie down in because it's bloody hot under the sun, eh? This is nuts. But this is my stream. So and here it just pisses you off. Speaking to the guide, and it's all the domestic tourism, and I saw exactly the same in India, and so nothing has changed. It's just, I guess there's less of it because there's less people coming up here. But man, like these people that just come around, they want to come up into the mountains, they leave all their shit here. Really fucking, I just wish you could find them and ram it down their bloody throat. They don't deserve to come into mountains like this. They should stay in bloody home. You should treat the mountains with more respect, and they should treat the environment with more respect. I'm getting angry now because I just see it everywhere down here in the subcontinent. And you see it in other places, it's true, but oh God, I don't know. You don't see it. You know where you don't see it? Places like Scandinavia, Finland, Norway, Sweden. Those guys absolutely cherish their nature and do not go and ruin it by going in there and chucking this shit down. And they've chucked it all in the stream as well. Like, this is the freshwater stream. It's just all full of rubbish in here. Old mate the guide, he's got a plastic bag and he's picking it up as he goes, and we'll probably clear this up as well. But anyway, that's enough of my little environmental rant. I'm gonna have it's pretty early, man. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, and he said it's probably another 7 hours up. I mean, you could rock up at night time, I suppose, up the top of that mountain. So it's 6 hours here, 6 or 7 hours to get up that mountain. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow, that's for sure. So anyway, I got the whole afternoon. This is like when I did the Hampton Pass on the second night when I rocked up at one in the Arvo. At least this time it's not minus 20 degrees and I'm freezing my ass off on the glacier. Well, look at this. Our second night camp. Not really. This is our second camp on the first night. So what happened was, let's get that out of there. I was happily down at my other little camp there, all set up, reading my little book, having a great time, when my guide, so he'd come up further up the hill to go and speak to a friend of his who's a shepherd up here. There's actually about four shepherds here. So you can see there's all the sheep all around us. Delicious. And the shepherds are over in the corner over there by the little shepherd hut. Anyway, they said that on top of the hill up at Rush Peak and around Rush Lake, where we're planning on camping tomorrow night, we're planning on heading up there, and they said there's still a fair bit of snow on top of all around the lake, and the lake is still and then the summit's another hour or two further up from that. So they said you'd be camping on snow, and even if the sun's out, because it's been beautiful blue skies all day, he said it'll be a horrible place to camp because it'll all be melting and it'll be a muddy, unpleasant place to be. Our plan has sort of changed a little bit because we were going to let's get the mountains in the background, that's the way to do it. Oh yeah, that's the shot. We were going to carry everything up the mountain, tent, cook and get everything, all the food that we're, so they have said leave everything down here. They're going to be like down here on this pasture for a few days. They said that they look after the camp, and we just hot-footed up the hill, just take water and some food, and come back down again. So it's going to be a long day tomorrow going up to the, if we can get to the summit. They said the summit's got a lot of snow on it, and it's pretty rocky incline apparently, and it's slippery, and the shepherds tend to think that it can't be done right now. A bit of a bummer, because the summit is where you get the views of K2, so we'll see how that goes tomorrow. It might be too knackered because we're going to have to leave at 3 in the morning to be able to get up there and back again before dark apparently. So so it's going to be an early night, as long as this sheep shut up at some point. This little guy, delicious. Come hither. Come here, my pretty. So they've been making, oh good on them. What have we got? So we got
Dal
some,
and the potato, what this other potato.
this is the dal,
This
potato curry going on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a nice little place out of the wind. We've also a bit of a shepherd cooked curry. Very nice. So, and they live in this little hut, do they?
Yeah.
There. There's a comfy little hut, a little fire for the cold evenings. They make, do they mind if I go in?
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah. So they're still making,
They make butter.
so they make their butter up
Yeah.
here.
You can look here. You put in the milk and
Yeah.
like this.
Wow, so they're still doing it by that. And they got a couple of them, so
Yes, 3.
they love their
Yeah,
butter.
yeah.
Yeah. And how many sleep in here?
4 people.
4 of them. Okay. There's a lot roomier than the other one you showed me. They've upgraded. They got a little skylight, let the smoke out. We've got all the stuff. A little fire in the evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
After dinner, today you take to dinner here.
We'll be having dinner in here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes, this hotel.
This is the hotel. Right on. In the restaurant.
Different restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. I've just climbed up this hill. Whoa, I can hear this thing moving. To come and check out the glacier. So it's kind of 2 glaciers spilling down here, one through this valley and one coming off of this valley here, and they're merging together into this. You've got the white of it on the other side there, which goes the whole way down here, and yeah, the rest of it's rocky, but it's all ice. There's some big rocks. But it's interesting, and somebody please tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm guessing by the looks of things that these ridge lines that you see here that I'm standing on, through here there's another ridge line, and then there's another one forming, and they just keep forming lower and lower. And I'm guessing it's as these glaciers get smaller and smaller to form this. Surely the glaciers, you can see it's happening down here at a lower level, it's pushing all this rock, and it's really sort of makes its way as it pushes its way down, and it just pushes. And I'm guessing at some point the glacier was a lot thicker, was a lot higher, was up at this level, pushing its way through. And as it recedes, and it makes another line and pushes, and another. It's the only thing I can think of, because it happens on both sides, so it's the logical conclusion, but maybe I'm very wrong. But anyway, this is really cool. There's the mountain we've got to go up tomorrow. On the other side, carry on further and further. And then we camp back down here tomorrow night. So there's a bit of the lay of the land. Ain't it grand? A bird in the hand. This is where I stand. Alright guys, we're in the little shepherd's hut, just relaxing in here. It's getting cooler outside, so we've got the fire going for us. And it's yeah, these shepherds are really nice people, really hospitable. And yeah, this is a interesting development on the hike. I didn't expect this to happen, but it's really nice. Just sitting in this ancient little stone hut up in the mountains, eating a curry that the shepherds have cooked up for me. It's just one of those experiences. You just, I mean, the reasons that I travel, the very reasons that I travel for these experiences, but they're kind of few and far between when you get a real authentic experience. Now, these guys didn't know we were coming. It's not a put on show or anything like that. This is just come on in, we'll cook you some food. What's interesting about being here in this shepherd's hut is, I guess, all the places that I've seen. Oh, you guys remember when I went to the Hunderman abandoned village, but also like the little there's been a few little house museums that I've gone to, and the palaces and things like that, where you look at it and not much has changed, I suppose. Like, you look at those places and you can kind of picture people living there, but it's, you know, maybe a bit too far away from your imagination to really picture it. But here I am, living in something that's kind of just like that, and they're living here like for most of the year until the winters come. Yeah, like still saying that they're using exactly the same means of making butter. They're out milking the sheep now, so it's sheep and goat milk that they'll get to make the butter. And it's still exactly the same things that I've seen people seen in those sort of museums that are like from hundreds of years ago. And like, you guys can't see in here, but all the walls, the roof are all that sort of like charred black from the smoke in here. But it all goes out through the little chimney up there. I feel like I've stepped back in time. It's really cool. Like, I'm living the dream. Just up here in the mountains of Pakistan.